So the Redskins are a fascinating team. They have the number 2 pick. There have been rumors they should go get a quarterback and start over like Arizona. Acknowledge we didn't get the right guy. Let's not be rigid. Let's just move on. So let's start with that as somebody who was in that building last year. Would you move off Dwayne Haskins?
I'll tell you what, now that'll be interesting because, they last year the Redskins, were invested in Haskins. He was a little later in the first round. They picked him up. So it's not like he was the first guy taken in the draft, but there's a big investment there. And the young man wasn't ready early. Like, he really wasn't.
You saw him at practice?
Oh, yeah, I saw him at practice. He's a good kid. He's got a big arm. A lot of talent, but definitely not ready for the rigors of the NFL.
Now, as the Redskins were unraveling, as they're prone to do at the end of the year, he got slightly better. Did he impress you?
Yeah, he did. I tell you, he got a lot better from when he was thrown into games. I remember in New York, it was awful. He wasn't ready. We threw him in the game, and it wasn't fair to the kid. He just wasn't ready. So at least each week I saw him trying to get better. I saw him trying to meet with Tim Rattay, who's a real fine coach now at Oklahoma State. He was trying to, to get better. Now, is he NFL ready? No, not even close. So it'll be interesting to see which route they go. Can Alex Smith come back? I know that was a gruesome injury, and everybody forgets about him. But you know how Alex Smith works. I mean, that guy's going to want to play again. So if he comes back, now that'll be interesting to see. Well, now they don't have to draft a quarterback. But I understand what you're saying, Colin. If the organization, Kyle Smith now will be his first chance to be the GM. That's new because they moved on from
all new people.
All new people.
Ron
you
Rivera.
Have a new coach. So you have time. If you really want to commit to a guy, if you're in love with Tua as the quarterback, then you can do it. Now, the tough thing about that is, remember, this is a franchise that's moved up to trade for RG3. That didn't work out, okay? And they moved up to the second pick in the draft, which, ironically, this is the second pick, okay? And you have a generational talent as a pass rusher. The one thing you can do is when you see,
Chase Young at Ohio State.
And you see Chase Young outperform Bosa head-to-head, there's a pretty good resume right there that this guy's going to be successful in the National Football League.
So if you were in the rooms, Rob, you'd be championing this kid, draft this kid.
I'd be draft that defensive player because I'm a defensive coach.
Right.
But it'll be interesting because if everybody comes back and there's a consensus of, hey, let's go get the left-handed quarterback this is our guy, then you could see a strange thing happen. But I believe they'll stay with the pass rusher. I really do. There's such a premium. Quarterbacks, pass rushers, and corners.
Yes.
That's what the league is. And
he appears to be the best pass rusher by a long shot in this draft.
No question. And really, he's probably been the best pure pass rusher in a long time come out. So they draft Montez Sweat last year, who's going to be a real good player.
Yep.
He's got a ways to go. Kerrigan is a fine player, but he's getting older.
Yeah.
And there's a guy, Ryan Anderson, which is a terrific player that plays behind him, and he got better as the year went on. So it's actually a position of strength. But, again, you never can have enough pass rushers. San Francisco has them. There'll be more number one draft choices on that defense and that defensive front than San Francisco has. So if you want to improve your defense right away, that'd be a way to do it.
Let's talk about the Patriots. You coached there for 2 years. What is your gut feeling on Brady and the New England organization going forward? Does he stay or not?
Yeah, I coached there for 4. I won 2 Super Bowls, but I can remember the first year we were there, we had a terrible football team. Belichick's first year, I think we were
5-11.
5-11.
And then you started the next year 0-2 or 0-3?
Yeah, something like that. But it was, and everybody's saying, well, they wasted a draft choice for Belichick, get rid of all of them. But there's a conversation he had with the staff and Ernie Adams, who, he's trusted guys, and this was back in 2000. Can you win with a $30 million quarterback? When this was back then, it was like, we had Drew Bledsoe. He's all we had. He's a good player. And it was interesting. We're thinking, wow, we might move off of Drew. That'd be crazy. Well, then 2 days later, we signed him for $100 million. So I'm like, well, end of discussion. There's our quarterback.
Right.
But he gets hurt. And Belichick benched him. for Tom Brady and moved on from him the next season. Now, let's not pretend Belichick hasn't done this before. In Cleveland, he benched Bernie Kosar.
Yes.
Which is like benching Jim Brown.
Yeah, no, it was very unpopular.
It was
death threats. It was in the Belichick book. It's brutal.
It's a bigger story than the Tom Brady thing is. Like it was massive, but he did it. This guy's done it. He's gotten rid of Hall of Famers, Ty Law, Richard Seymour, Willie McGinnis. These great players, he's moved on from. So I can see this actually going in that direction, which is crazy to say, but I can see it. And I could see Tom Brady going in, being like Peyton Manning, and going to try to win 2 Super Bowls, as Peyton did when he changed addresses, because Tom Brady can still play.
Yeah. I mean, the Chargers, actually, it's funny. I brought this up last week, and Doug Gottlieb said I was nuts. But the Chargers made a very, not a daring move, a substantial move a week ago. They went and traded for a Pro Bowl guard.
Right.
And I believe it was a signal to Don Yee, Brady's agent, saying, listen, our receivers, our backs, our defense is great. We're bad up the middle. We're going to sign this right now, before free agency.
Right.
Here's our sign. And then you tell Don Yee, Brady's agent, our first pick will take a left tackle. It's a good draft for left tackles.
Sure.
So, Tom, we're giving you the best college left tackle, a Pro Bowl guard. This is a Super Bowl roster. I think it was a signal. And I do think the Chargers owner, Dean Spanos, wants him. They can't sell tickets. So whether or not Tom chooses the Chargers, I do think the Chargers made that preemptive free agent move. A, it makes their football team better, and B, it was a signal to Brady, we are building a fortress around you. Does that sound nuts?
I think it's exactly right. And look, this Tom Telesco, he's up against Ballard, your guy in the Colts, who's a charmer. These guys are going to be coming out of the woodworks to get Tom Brady. But Telesco has to win here. He has to. You're going to impact. You've had good drafts. You've done things, but you're a quarterback away from winning it all. This is your quarterback. And also, I don't care what it costs. Go get him.
And remember this, Rob. Mookie Betts, great baseball player, signed with the Dodgers.
Right.
LeBron goes to the Lakers.
Absolutely.
Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. You got to have a star. Like the Chargers have a bunch of good players. To sell tickets in L.A., it is a incredibly competitive sports market.
Oh, there's no question. And not only are you going to sell tickets, which obviously, I mean, you can't outdraw the XFL team now. This is a slam dunk for them. Selling tickets, absolutely. You would do that overnight.
Yeah.
But you'd also have a chance to win it all. You've got a great head coach in Anthony Lynn. You got a young coordinator there that's smart. It's not like Tom Brady's going to come in and learn somebody's offense. He's going to come in and put his own offense in, just like Peyton did when he went to Denver. So you have to have a group of people that'll work with him. I don't think him going to Oakland is going to change John Gruden's way he runs things. That's not going to happen. It'll definitely happen with L.A. Chargers. It'll happen wherever else he goes. So I would love to see that, because I think the Chargers are begging for that to happen. And I think this general manager, don't come second place. You got to win. Like, well, we almost beat the Titans. No, you have to win this one, because your whole franchise is begging for this to happen.
Finally, you faced Dak a couple of times in Washington when you were coaching the Redskins. Dak got your number. So would you pay him?
Oh, there's no question. Dak Prescott, to me, he and Russell Wilson are the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFC. I've seen this guy grow from when he was young. We played him early in the season, 4th game of the year. Then we played him the last game of the year. When everybody else was going home, quitting and crying and going home, and coaches, players, whatever, I was there till 3 in the morning watching tape. This quarterback is so impressive from last season. It was amazing. The year before, he used to take sacks. He'd be in the pocket, he'd hold the ball and get hit and take sacks. He doesn't do that anymore. I think the moving the Kellen Moore kid at offense coordinator really helped him. I think he does a good job. He doesn't look like much, but obviously he's done a nice job. He allowed Dak the freedom to check plays, get in the right plays, and then he allows Dak Prescott, he functioned better from the pocket and then outside the pocket throwing deep than I've seen anybody other than Russell Wilson. So this guy is on a tremendous upside. He's been in the league 4 years. To me, he's Russell Wilson. Well, Russell Wilson took off, played for Seattle 4 years. They had great numbers. They had all that, but you could feel him on the tape. You could see the leadership. You could see where this guy was going. This quarterback's the same guy.
So when you watch tape of Dak, you see Russell.
Oh, I do. And I see an ultimate competitor. When this guy's in the red zone, there's only 2 guys in the red zone now that Cam Newton's been banged up.
Right.
The inside the 10, this guy is a physical quarterback. He's a physical player. That's in the kid that plays for Buffalo. They're going to run you over.
Yeah.
They're going to do whatever it takes to score. I love this about this player, and he's so vastly improved. You can see he's the star of the team. Without question, and you need to pay him. The guy that everybody says, well, you got him, then you got to get Cooper. I'd move on from Cooper faster than anything because he disappears in games. He wasn't even on that tape. At the end of the year, he was a ghost. He's averaging 40 yards a game in the last 7 weeks of the season and 1 touchdown, probably against us. But I'm just saying, it's like really? Where is this guy? What is he doing? He's quitting on routes as a primary receiver. I remember all the hoopla about Dez Bryant. Oh, well, Dez would cry because he never got the ball. This guy doesn't want it. So, I mean, I get it. Hey, we got to pay this. No, you don't. You better pay the quarterback because he's the star of the team. And I love the way the kid plays, and he's exciting to watch. And I just know, look, there's players. Aaron Rodgers is descending. These guys, you see him on tape. This kid, in the heart, he's 4 years in his prime, he's going nothing but up. This is where you pay him now and have the rewards later.
Yeah, well, the stories are they are going to pay him, and we're going to find out sometime next week. Rob Ryan, great seeing you again.
Great seeing you.
All right,
Hope
Joey,
you
with
feel
the news.
better.
Thanks, man. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.